Stop. Do not move. Suspend your disbelief and silence the chaotic chatter of your modern mind. Close your eyes and let the darkness behind your eyelids become a physical space. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a vast, wind-swept desert in ancient Egypt. It is night. The stars above are not merely lights. They are burning eyes of the cosmos, watching you. Before you stands a colossal temple, hewn from black basalt, its entrance sealed by a heavy stone door that has not moved for 5,000 years. You are here to meet the Master of Masters. He is known by many names. The Egyptians called him Thoth. The Greeks called him Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great. He is the father of occult wisdom, the founder of astrology, the discoverer of alchemy. He holds a golden scroll, the Kybalion, which contains the keys to universal power. Listen closely to the wind. It carries a whisper, an ancient maxim passed down through the secret lodges of history. The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. For centuries, this door has been shut to the masses. The world has walked past it, blind and deaf, chasing the illusions of the material world. They chase shadows on the wall, believing them to be reality. They are slaves to the economy, slaves to the weather, slaves to their own unruly emotions. But you have stopped. You have listened. And because you are listening, the stone door begins to grind open. This audiobook is not a philosophy class. It is an initiation. We are not here to discuss abstract theories about the nature of God. We are here to hand you the master key. The Kybalion promises that he who grasps this key may unlock the many doors of the mental and psychic temple and enter therein freely. We are about to explore the 7 Hermetic principles. These are not suggestions. They are the immutable, ironclad laws of the universe. Just as the law of gravity pulls a stone to the earth, these mental laws dictate the flow of wealth, power, and influence. If you ignore them, you will be crushed by them. If you master them, you become a master of the great work. The promise of this journey is dominion. Not over others, that is petty tyranny, but over the self and the circumstance. You will learn why you have failed in the past. You will learn why the rich get richer. You will learn how to transmute the lead of your fearful thoughts into the gold of absolute confidence. But be warned, knowledge demands a price. The price is your old identity. You cannot enter the temple as a victim. You can only enter as an initiate. The victim blames the world. The initiate creates the world. As you step across the threshold into the cool, incense-filled air of the inner sanctum, you leave behind the chaos of the profane world. You stand before the emerald tablet. The 7 laws are etched in fire. Are you ready to see the machinery behind the curtain of reality? Are you ready to take your hands off the passenger seat and grab the wheel of the cosmos? The door is open. The silence is heavy. The master awaits. Affirmations of the initiate. I am the seeker of the hidden light. I open my ears to the wisdom of the ages. I possess the courage to master my own mind. I leave behind the victimhood of the masses. I am ready to receive the master key. Chapter 2. The Principle of Mentalism. The universe is mind. We stand in the center of the temple, illuminated by a violet flame. Hermes points to the first and greatest law, the foundation of all Hermetic wisdom. The all is mind, the universe is mental. This is the hardest pill for the materialist to swallow. Look at the stone walls around you. Look at your own hand. Strike the table. It feels solid, does it not? It feels real. It feels separate from you. But the Kybalion teaches that this solidity is an illusion. Everything you see, the stars, the planets, the oceans, the skyscrapers, the gold in the vault, is essentially a thought form held in the mind of the infinite living mind, which we call the All. Imagine you are dreaming. In your dream, there are mountains, monsters, and treasures. They feel real. You can touch them. You can fear them. But when you wake up, you realize they were all made of the same substance. Your mind. The universe is the dream of God. And because you are made in the image of the Creator, your mind is a fragment of that divine mind. This means that the universe is not made of stuff. It is made of intelligence. It is responsive. It is alive. If the universe is mental, then it can be changed by mind. This is the secret of the miracle. A miracle is not a violation of nature. It is the imposition of a higher mental law over a lower physical law. Most people live in the world of effects. They try to change their bank account, physical, by moving physical objects around. They work harder. They beg. They steal. This is like trying to change the movie on the screen by yelling at the theater wall. You cannot change the movie on the screen. You must go to the projector. The projector is your mind. The principle of mentalism gives you the ultimate leverage. If you want to change your life, you must stop wrestling with the physical world. You must withdraw into the mental world and change the blueprint. Understand this. Your thoughts are not wisps of smoke. They are real things. They are the seeds of the universe. Every thought you think is a vibration sent out into the mental substance of the all. If you think, I am poor, you are planting a seed of poverty in the fertile soil of the universal mind. The universe, being a mental construct, has no choice but to grow that seed into a physical reality. You are walking through a universe that is listening to you. It is molding itself around your dominant mental states. If you truly grasp this principle, fear vanishes. How can you fear a monster that you are projecting? You simply change the real. You simply change the thought. This is the path to dominion. The master does not seek power in the sword or the coin. The master seeks power in the mind, knowing that the sword and the coin are merely shadows cast by the power of thought. Affirmations of mentalism. I know that the universe is mental, and I am a mental creator. I am one with the universal mind of the all. I control the projector of my reality, not the screen. My thoughts are things, solid and powerful. I live in a world of my own mental creation. Chapter 3. The Art of Mental Transmutation. If the universe is mental, then the highest art form is mental transmutation. Transmutation is a term from alchemy. The ancient alchemists tried to turn base metals, lead, into noble metals, gold. The uninitiated thought this was a chemical process. The masters knew it was a psychological process. Mental transmutation is the art of changing and transforming mental states, forms, and conditions into others. It is the ability to turn the lead of depression into the gold of joy, to turn the lead of poverty consciousness into the gold of wealth consciousness. The Kybalion states, mind as well as metals and elements may be transmuted from state to state, degree to degree, condition to condition, pole to pole, vibration to vibration. You are currently a mental alchemist, but you may be a bad one. You are unconsciously transmuting your potential gold into lead every time you worry. You are taking the pure energy of the universe and lowering its vibration into fear. The master alchemist consciously controls this process. How is this done? By the exercise of the will. You cannot just wish a state away. You must will the new state into existence. If you are feeling fear, you do not fight the fear. Fighting it feeds it energy. Instead, you concentrate your attention on the opposite pole, courage. By focusing on courage, you transmute the energy of fear. The fear does not disappear, it is elevated. It becomes the fuel for courage. This is a critical distinction. We do not destroy energy, we change its form. Think of water. You can freeze it into ice, hard, unmoving. You can boil it into steam, powerful, expansive. It is the same H2O. Your anxiety is simply frozen excitement. Your anger is simply misdirected passion. The alchemist does not waste this energy. He heats it up. He redirects it. When you master mental transmutation, you become the master of your environment. If you walk into a room full of angry people, low vibration, you do not have to absorb their anger. You can transmute the atmosphere by holding a strong vibration of peace and authority. You become the thermostat, not the thermometer. This applies to wealth. Poverty and wealth are just different degrees of the same thing, financial resource. You are not lacking the resource. You are just at the lower end of the sliding scale. Through mental transmutation, you slide your consciousness up the scale. You stop identifying with the bottom, lack, and start identifying with the top, abundance. As your mind slides up, your physical reality must follow. It is law. Affirmations of transmutation. I am the alchemist of my own soul. I transmute fear into power and lack into abundance. I control the dial of my emotional states. I raise the vibration of every room I enter. I change my mind, and thereby I change my world. Chapter 4. The Principle of Correspondence. We move deeper into the mysteries. The second great law is the principle of correspondence. Its maxim is famous, even among the uninitiated. As above, so below, as below, so above. This principle embodies the truth that there is always a correspondence between the laws and phenomena of the various planes of being and life. It is the universal mirror. The macrocosm, the universe, reflects the microcosm, man. The outer world, circumstance, reflects the inner world, mind. This is the most confronting law of all. It removes all victimhood. If your outer world is chaotic, it is because your inner world is chaotic. If your desk is messy, your mind is messy. If your bank account is empty, your concept of self-worth is empty. There is no escape from this mirror. You are looking at yourself everywhere you go. If you hate your job, you are seeing a reflection of your own resentment. If people treat you poorly, they are reflecting your own lack of self-respect. The world acts as a biofeedback machine. It shows you exactly who you are. But this law is also the key to liberation. Because if as within, so without is true, then to change the without, you only need to change the within. You do not need to try to fix the mirror. You fix the face. If you want to see order in your finances, cultivate order in your mind. If you want to see generosity in the world, cultivate generosity in your heart. The principle of correspondence allows you to solve problems that seem unsolvable on the physical plane. If you are stuck in a business problem, stop looking at the spreadsheets, below. Look at the spiritual principle, above. Is there a lack of integrity? Is there a lack of vision? Fix the above, and the below will rearrange itself automatically. This law also works in reverse. As below, so above. You can affect your mind by changing your body and environment. If you are depressed, above, clean your room, take a shower, stand up straight, below. The physical action will force the mental state to shift. Dress like a king, below, to feel like a king, above. Use this geometry of power. Align the high and the low. When your thoughts, above, and your actions, below, are perfectly aligned, you become a conduit for lightning. Nothing can stop you. Affirmations of correspondence. My outer world is a perfect reflection of my inner world. I create order within to manifest order without. I see the universe in myself and myself in the universe. As above, so below, I align my spirit and my actions. I am the architect of the mirror. Chapter 5. The Principle of Vibration. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. This is the principle of vibration. Science confirms what the Hermetists knew thousands of years ago. The difference between matter, energy, mind, and spirit is simply the rate of vibration. A rock is energy vibrating at a very low, slow rate. Light is energy vibrating at a very high rate. Spirit is energy vibrating at such an infinite rate that it appears to be at rest, like a spinning wheel that looks still. Your thoughts are vibrations. Your emotions are vibrations. We use these terms in modern slang. Good vibes, bad vibes. This is literally true. A person in a state of anger is vibrating at a low, jagged frequency. A person in a state of love is vibrating at a high, harmonious frequency. The key to dominion is this: higher vibrations dominate lower vibrations. Just as light dispels darkness, a high-frequency thought dissolves a low-frequency thought. If you are vibrating at the level of wealth, high, you cannot be affected by the vibration of poverty, low. They are on different bandwidths. Most people are vibrational victims. They let the weather, the news, or a rude comment lower their vibration. They drop down to the level of the problem. The master maintains his vibration regardless of the circumstance. This is called holding the frequency. If you want to attract wealth, you must vibrate at the frequency of wealth. What is the frequency of wealth? It is freedom. It is ease. It is generosity. It is gratitude. If you are working hard for money but you feel stressed, tight, and fearful, you are vibrating at poverty. Even if you make money, you will lose it, or it will bring you no joy, because your vibration does not match the substance. You must tune yourself like an instrument. Every morning, check your vibration. Are you humming with anxiety, or are you humming with power? Do not leave the house until you have raised your pitch. Use music. Use breathing. Use the I am affirmations. Spin the electrons of your mind faster. Become a high-frequency transmitter. When you vibrate high, you become invisible to low-frequency problems. They literally pass through you. You are in a different dimension. Affirmations of vibration. I am a being of high and holy vibration. I tune my soul to the frequency of infinite abundance. I reject the low vibrations of fear and doubt. Higher vibrations dominate lower ones. I am dominant. I radiate a signal of power that changes the world. Chapter 6. The application of vibration. Emotional induction. Knowing the principle of vibration is one thing, applying it is another. The application is called induction. Just as a magnet can induce magnetism in a piece of iron, a strong mind can induce a vibration in a weaker mind. This is the secret of leadership in sales. When a great leader walks into a room, the room changes. Why? Because his vibration is so strong, so steady, that it overrides the scattered vibrations of the crowd. He induces his state into them. They begin to feel confident because he is confident. You can use this for wealth. When you go into a negotiation, do not worry about what they are thinking. Focus on your vibration. Establish a vibration of win-win. Establish a vibration of authority. If you hold it steady, they will begin to resonate with you. They will feel good about the deal without knowing why. But you must be careful. You are also subject to induction. If you hang around losers, cynics, and complainers, their low vibration will induce itself into you. This is contamination. You must protect your aura. The Kybalion advises the student to become positive to the environment. To be positive means to be the sender of energy. To be negative means to be the receiver. Always be the sender. When you watch the news, you are negative, receiving fear. When you create your vision, you are positive, sending power. To create riches, you must spend 90% of your time in the positive pole. Be the hammer, not the anvil. Induce your vibration onto the world. Do not let the world induce its chaos onto you. This requires mental politeness, but vibrational ruthlessness. Be polite on the surface, but underneath, hold your frame with iron determination. I am wealthy. I am successful. I am free. Vibrate it until the concrete walls of reality crack and reshape themselves to match your song. Affirmations of induction. I am the sender of energy, not the receiver. I induce my state of confidence onto my environment. I protect my vibration from contamination. I am a tuning fork for the success of others. I stand firm in my frequency, unmoved by the chaos. Chapter 7. The Principle of Polarity. We now uncover the principle of polarity. Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. This sounds like a riddle. It is the secret to emotional control. Hot and cold are not two different things. They are the same thing, temperature. The only difference is the degree of vibration. East and west are points on the same line. Love and hate are the same energy, passion, at different poles. Why is this important for wealth? Because poverty and wealth are not two different things. They are the same thing. Financial resource. Poverty is just a low degree of resource. Wealth is a high degree. Because they are the same nature, one can be transmuted into the other. You cannot turn a rock into a thought. but you can turn fear into courage. You can turn lack into abundance. This destroys the idea that I am just a poor person. No. You are a person standing at the poor end of the wealth scale. The scale is continuous. You can slide along it. There is no wall between you and millions of dollars. It is just a sliding scale of frequency. The principle of polarity teaches us that every failure contains the seed of success. Why? Because they are on the same pole. If you have failed massively, you have generated massive energy. That energy is currently at the negative pole. You do not need to create new energy. You just need to flip the switch. Transmute the energy of the failure into the energy of the lesson and the comeback. The master uses polarity to find the good in the bad. Every cloud has a silver lining is a folk way of explaining polarity. When disaster strikes, the master looks immediately for the equivalent benefit. He knows it must be there because the pole of disaster is linked to the pole of opportunity. You cannot have one without the potential for the other. Stop seeing the world as good versus evil. See it as a sliding scale, and you are the hand that moves the slider. Affirmations of polarity. I see the potential for wealth in every situation. I slide the scale from fear to courage by my will. I know that opposites are identical in nature. I transmute the energy of failure into the energy of success. I am the master of the spectrum. Chapter 8. The Art of Polarization. Knowing the scale is one thing. Moving along it is another. This is the art of polarization. It is the ability to fix your attention on the pole you desire and hold it there against the pull of the opposite. Imagine the scale of mood. One end is depression, the other is joy. Something happens. You lose money. The natural tendency is to slide down toward depression. The Hermetic Master practices polarization. He consciously creates a mental image of the positive pole, abundance, joy, and holds his attention there. By holding his attention on the positive, he refuses to slide down. This takes immense will. It is mental weightlifting. It is easy to be happy when things are going well. The Master is happy when things are going wrong. Not because he is delusional, but because he refuses to let the event dictate his pole. He says, I am polarized in success. I refuse to acknowledge the vibration of failure. This steadiness creates a tremendous magnetic power. People are drawn to the man who stays calm in a storm. The storm is low polarity. The man is high polarity. Eventually, the storm passes, and the man is stronger. To build an empire, you must be polarized in wealth. This means you do not engage in poverty talk. You do not engage in budget panic. Even when the bank account is low, you maintain the internal polarity of opulence. You appreciate the air, the coffee, the clothes you have. You keep your vibration pinned to the wealth end of the spectrum. By law, the physical reality must eventually slide up to meet you. Do not be a pendulum, swinging back and forth between hope and despair. Be a statue, be a pillar. Polarize yourself in the good, the true, and the beautiful. Deny the ultimate reality of the evil side. It is just a shadow. The light is real. Affirmations of polarization. I am steadfast in my focus on the positive pole. I refuse to sway with the winds of circumstance. I hold the vibration of wealth regardless of appearances. I anchor myself in the truth of abundance. I am the immovable rock in the sea of change. Chapter 9. The Principle of Rhythm. Everything flows, out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. This is the principle of rhythm. It is the law of cycles. Night follows day. Winter follows summer. Recession follows expansion. The tide comes in, the tide goes out. Many seekers of success are destroyed by rhythm. They think success should be a straight line up. When they hit a down cycle, a dip in income, a lack of motivation, they panic. They think they have failed. They think the law isn't working. No, it is just the tide going out. You cannot stop the tide, but you can learn to surf. The master understands that winter is not death. It is rest. It is preparation for spring. When business is slow, do not despair. Use that time to sharpen your sword. Use that time to plan. Use that time to rest. If you fight the winter, you will freeze. If you use the winter, you will be ready for the harvest. Rhythm governs your moods too. You will have days of high energy and days of low energy. Do not beat yourself up on the low days. Recognize it. The pendulum has swung back. Knowing this gives you patience. You know the upswing is coming. It is inevitable. In finance, rhythm is the market cycle. The fool buys at the top of the swing, greed, and sells at the bottom, fear. The master observes the rhythm. He buys when the pendulum is at the bottom, blood in the streets, and sells when it is at the top. He does not get emotional about the swing. He uses the swing. Never make permanent decisions based on a temporary downswing. Never quit during the winter. Wait for the spring. It always comes. The principle of rhythm gives you the long view. It prevents burnout. Flow with the cycles of the universe, and you will conserve your energy for the moments of action. Affirmations of rhythm. I flow with the natural cycles of the universe. I am patient in the winter, knowing spring is coming. I do not despair when the tide goes out. I prepare for its return. I use the downswings to rest and strategize. I am in harmony with the heartbeat of creation. Chapter 10. The law of neutralization. Rhythm sounds fatalistic. Must we always suffer the downswing? The Kybalion offers an escape, the law of neutralization. You cannot stop the pendulum from swinging, but you can choose to not swing with it. Hermetic masters rise to a higher plane of consciousness. Imagine the pendulum is swinging on the physical plane. The master elevates his mind to the spiritual plane. The pendulum swings underneath him. He sees the physical loss, he sees the market crash, but emotionally and mentally, he does not participate. This is called polarizing on the higher plane. You refuse to let the external low tide affect your internal high tide. You say, the market is down, but I am up. My bank account is low, but my spirit is high. By doing this, you neutralize the emotional impact of the swing. This is the secret of the poker face, the secret of stoicism. It is the refusal to be a slave to rhythm. You let the body and the affairs swing, but you keep the soul steady. When you neutralize the negative swing, you preserve your energy. Most people lose all their gains from the upswing by panicking during the downswing. The master keeps his gains. He stands firm. And when the pendulum swings back up, he rides it with double the power. Practice this. When you feel a bad mood coming on, the swing back, disassociate. Watch it like a cloud passing. Oh, here is a feeling of sadness. Do not say, I am sad. Say, there is sadness passing through. Stay above. Stay in the citadel of the mind. Let the world spin. You are the axis. Affirmations of neutralization. I rise above the pendulum of mood and circumstance. I observe the lows without becoming the lows. I maintain my internal state regardless of external shifts. I neutralize the negative swing by polarizing in the higher mind. I am the master of my reactions. Chapter 11. The principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. This is the iron law. There is no such thing as luck. There is no such thing as accident. We live in a cosmos of order, not chaos. If you are broke, there is a cause. If you are rich, there is a cause. If you are sick, there is a cause. The masses are effects. They are tossed around by the wills of others, by heredity, by the news, by the environment. They are pawns on the chessboard. The masters are causers. They play the game. You must move from being an effect to being a cause. You must stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what cause did I set in motion to create this? And more importantly, what cause can I set in motion now to create a different effect tomorrow? Wealth is an effect. It is the result of providing value, cause. It is the result of disciplined saving, cause. It is the result of wise investing. Cause. You cannot cheat the law. You cannot reap where you have not sown. But the good news is, if you sow, you must reap. The law is impartial. It works for everyone. If you plant corn, you get corn. If you plant poison ivy, you get poison ivy. If you plant thoughts of success and take actions of service, you will get wealth. It is a mathematical certainty. Stop waiting for a lucky break. Create the break. Become a causative agent. Take responsibility for everything in your life. Responsibility is power. If you cause the mess, you can clean it. If they caused it, you are helpless. Accept the burden of cause. It is the weight of the crown. Affirmations of cause. I am the cause of my own experience. I reject the illusion of chance. I create my luck. I sow seeds of success to reap a harvest of gold. I take total responsibility for my results. I am the player, not the pawn. Chapter 12. Becoming the causative agent. How do you become the cause? By mastering the mind. Thoughts are the primary causes. Actions are secondary causes. Circumstances are effects. Most people try to change circumstances with actions, ignoring thoughts. This is hard labor. The master changes thoughts, which inspires actions, which dictates circumstances. You must perform a root cause analysis of your life. Look at your finances. What is the root mental cause? Is it a belief that money is evil? Is it a habit of spending to soothe pain? Change the root. You must become a conscious initiator. Do not wait for the phone to ring. Ring the phone. Do not wait for the invitation. Build the party. Initiative is the hallmark of the master. The universe rewards motion. God helps those who help themselves. This is cause and effect. When you act with decision and clarity, you send a shock wave through the web of cause and effect. You influence the chain of causality. You can change the future of your family tree. You can be the one who breaks the chain of poverty. You can be the first cause of a new legacy of wealth. Stand up. Look at the chessboard. Make your move. The universe is waiting for your command. Affirmations of agency. I initiate action and create momentum. I am the breaker of old chains and the forger of new paths. I use the law of cause and effect to engineer my destiny. I stop waiting and start creating. I am a powerful force of nature. Chapter 13. The principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. This is not about biological sex. This is about creative energy. The masculine principle is will, projective, active. The feminine principle is creative, receptive, generative. Creation requires the union of both. You cannot create a child with only one gender. You cannot create a universe or a fortune with only one principle. In your mind, you have both. The conscious mind is masculine, the will. The subconscious mind is feminine, the womb. To create wealth, you must practice the mystical marriage. Your will, masculine, must impregnate your subconscious, feminine, with the seed of the idea. I am wealthy, the seed. The subconscious receives the seed, nurtures it, and gives birth to the reality. Most people have a weak will, impotent masculine, or a blocked subconscious, barren feminine, or they are constantly fighting themselves. The will says, I want money, but the subconscious says, money is scary. This is a divided house. No creation can happen. You must embrace both sides. You need the masculine drive to hustle, to protect, to push. You need the feminine capacity to receive, to imagine, to flow. A man who is all masculine burns out. He is all force, no flow. A man who is all feminine dreams but never acts. He is all flow, no force. Balance the energies. Use your will to focus, masculine. Use your intuition to guide, feminine. Use your action to build, masculine. Use your magnetism to attract, feminine. The master is an androgynous soul, possessing the strengths of both, lacking the weaknesses of neither. Affirmations of gender. I balance the masculine and feminine energies within me. I unite my will and my imagination to create. I am both the sower of the seed and the fertile soil. I act with strength and receive with grace. I honor the creative power of my dual nature. Chapter 14. Mental Gender, the I and the Me. The Kybalion goes deeper into mental gender. It distinguishes between the I and the me. The me is your body, your personality, your emotions, your memories. It is the feminine aspect waiting to be directed. The I is the spark of divinity, the will, the observer, the masculine aspect. Most people live in the me. They identify with their emotions. I am sad. The master lives in the I. He observes the emotions. The me is feeling sadness. The I stands apart. It is the king on the throne. The me is the kingdom. To master the mind, the I must rule the me. The I decides what to think. The I decides how to feel. The me is the engine. The I is the driver. If the driver falls asleep, the car crashes. Stand in the I. Realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the thinker. You are not your bank account. You are the creator of the account. From the vantage point of the I, you can reprogram the me. You can tell the me, we are courageous now. And the me will obey if the I is strong enough. This is the secret of willpower. It is the dominance of the I over the inertia of the me. Cultivate the I. Spend time in silence, separating yourself from your thoughts. I am. Just that. I am. That is the center of power. From that center you can move the world. Affirmations of the I am the observer, the decider, the master. I separate my true self from my temporary emotions. The I commands and the me obeys. I stand in the center of my being, calm and sovereign. I am that I am. Chapter 15. The Master of the Seven. We have walked the path. We have unlocked the seven seals: mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, gender. These are the tools of the Creator. You now hold the Kybalion in your hands, not as a book, but as a living code in your mind. You are no longer a sleepwalker. You are an awakened master. But knowing the laws is not enough. You must use them. The Kybalion warns, possession of knowledge, unless accompanied by a manifestation and expression in action, is like the hoarding of precious metals, a vain and foolish thing. Do not become a mental miser. Do not just read this and nod. Go out and test it. Use transmutation to change your mood today. Use polarity to find the good in a bad situation today. Use cause and effect to start a new business venture today. The universe is your laboratory. The problems of life are your chemical elements. You are here to experiment. You are here to demonstrate dominion. Wealth is just one manifestation of mastery. When you master yourself, the wealth follows as a natural effect. It cannot be otherwise. Walk with the dignity of an initiate. Keep your lips closed and your ears open. Guard your thoughts. Rule your emotions. Direct your will. You are the magician. The wand is your mind. The spell is your thought. The result is your life. The door of the temple is open. You have the key. Now, go forth and build your kingdom. Final affirmations of the Master. I am a master of the seven laws. I walk in the light of Hermetic wisdom. I command my destiny with knowledge and power. I am wealth. I am health. I am wisdom. It is done.